0-0, half time. Oh my God. Oh my God. So listen, if you're watching this for the first time and you've never seen my channel before, I'm not normally negative. And a lot of people on my channel that have been on my channel for a long time following will know that I'm quite a positive person. Recently, I've had no choice but to be a bit negative with all this. And what I'm about to say now is what I've been saying for weeks. Okay. You're a manager or head coach, whatever you want to be, and you're employed to run the football inside the football team. Okay. You manage that football team. You prepare the team, you train the team, you prepare them for games. But when the game is taking place, it's your responsibility to influence the game by your team selection, by your tactics. If they don't work, you're paid to make the necessary changes, the necessary decisions to force the result, to change it for the positive, to change it for the better. The problem that we've got is our manager is a one-trick pony. He hasn't got an alternative tactical solution. Copenhagen, to their credit, are giving Chelsea the utmost respect. They are playing a back five, flat back five that are dropping off to the edge of their penalty box. They got three players, three midfielders in front of them working hard, side to side, closing the players down. Their forward line drops into midfield to almost make it like a 5-3-2, but those 3 and 2 in front of the defenders are compact in midfield. So as soon as the ball goes over halfway for Chelsea, they're hunting us down and they're closing the players down. The problem that we've fucking got is that we've got possession of the football and we're going inside all the time to an already compact, crowded area, and we've got no option to just go back to Badia Seal, back to fucking tossing again every single time. We need players out wide and stay on the byline. We need I feel so sorry for Maresca because he's not in the game, because he's not getting anything given to him, because we can't build anything through what we're doing. And this is where the manager's got to change it. This is where he's got to make changes. Right now, the way we're playing and the instructions we've given the players, especially Tariq George, keep fucking coming inside, is doing my head in and it ain't working. So what we need to do is we now need to go and make the changes. Unfortunately, we've got to take off Maresca and we've got to take off George. He's got to go Pedro Neto and he's got to go Nkunku. And who else we got on the bench? Let me have a look. On the bench, we've also got Sancho. So make those 3 changes. Go Sancho, Nkunku, and Neto. Take off Maresca, George, and Dewsbury Hall. And you've got to go Nkunku up front, Sancho on the left, Neto on the right, Cole Palmer's the number 10. And then what we got to do is say to Nkunku and Neto, Sancho and Neto, stay on the byline and instruct everybody else on that fucking pitch in a Chelsea shirt. When you get that ball, go wide. First ball was wide. Don't go 10-yard ball inside to midfield to Casido, who's got players around his arse. Don't go inside to fucking Reece James so they can play little 10-yard balls and then go backwards again. I don't want to see tossing with the ball at his feet, just doing little jogging with the ball, just looking for a ball, and he's got nothing wide, so he goes inside. I don't want to see that anymore. It's fucking disgrace is what it is. We are making a bang average team look good because of the way we're playing, because of the way we're set up by the manager. He's got to change it. If I can see it, and I'm sure plenty of you agree or plenty of you have got a different opinion, but you're going to make changes, then why can't he see it? If we come out again second half and there's no changes, then God help us. Honestly, God help us. What are we thinking about the game this evening? Let's just hope we don't get a performance like we got in the first half last week, because that was shocking. I said last week was bad enough. The first half last week was shocking. In the build-up to this game, beginning of this stream, I was talking about the fact we can't have another performance like that. And we've got it. And the only reason we've got it is because we're playing into their hands. Now, this is why I've got a problem with Enzo Maresca. Maresca said it after the game last week. He said, they surprised me by playing 5 at the back. His words, they surprised me last week by playing 5 at the back because they haven't done that before. I watched loads of games, and he said it in the press conference yesterday. I watched loads of games, and they surprised me and said, never done that before, Copenhagen. You look at how they played last week. You watch the video again. You watch how they defend deep, how the defensive midfielder drops in and dictates and runs the show. And you see that the midfield is compact, the midfield is packed, and Copenhagen go as a unit side to side. So they don't split out and one person goes that way to press and then only some of them go. They all go side to side together. So the only way you're going to beat them is by moving the ball quickly in wide, out wide, and getting it forward and getting a cross in. Or quickly switching it from one side to the other and then going forward and getting the cross in before they can get across and set themselves. The biggest problem that we face right now is we've got a midfield that is congested, that is packed, and why on fucking earth have we got a tactic where we're saying to Josh Achampong, can you play left back, but do me a favour, when we've got possession, can you push inside middle of midfield? Why the fuck are we doing that? Because it's already condensed and compact. And the problem that you've got is you're relying on us to keep hold of the ball. But as soon as we get anywhere near their half, they're after us, Copenhagen, and they're hunting numbers. It's not just one person. It's a minimum of 2 or 3, depending on where it is in the bigger picture and the position of where the ball is on the pitch. It's at least 2 players. So if we lose the ball, Achapong is done. He's out of position. So Enzo's having to come in on the left-hand side and fill in. And at one point, towards the end of that half, he's had to track back 40, 50 yards as a left-back to try and shut the player down. He's just gone past him to the byline. And Enzo puts in like a token gesture of a challenge. And lucky enough, it goes to the near post and we clear it away for a corner. But Achapong, every time we pick up the ball, there was one moment in the game in that first half, we've picked up the ball on just slightly inside of a left-back position with Enzo, halfway inside of our half, and he's looking for a ball, and Achapong runs in front of him, past him, into midfield. And he sort of looks, it's sort of as if to say, what's going on? So why are you asking Achapong to do that in a condensed midfield already? Play wide. There's a saying when you're young and you're being taught football. One of them is when the ball goes wide, stand up, don't dive into a challenge, make him play it. Simple as that. But the other one is, there's 2 more. One of them is let the ball do the work because the ball never gets fucking tired. And the other one is make the pitch big as possible, make it as wide as possible, because the only way you're going to combat Copenhagen being narrow and compact, and by doing this defensively as a unit from side to side, is by moving it wide quickly, getting the ball forward or switching it quickly and going. Don't just hold it up wide and go backwards again. Take players on. Get one-on-one and take them on, both sides. That way you're going to force them into having some doubts about what they're doing and dropping off and maybe opening a bit of space up. But you have to make the pitch big. So that's Achapong's position in the first half, which is doing my fucking head in, because as soon as we lose it, there's the right back pushes on with a winger and they got themselves 2-on-1 on the right-hand side. Tyreek George on the right-hand side. All last week. When he was on that pitch last week, the whole fucking game that he was involved, I said it from about the 2nd or 3rd minute in, he's been asked to cut inside and to press the centre-back. The left side is centre-back of the back 5. He's been asked to go in there and try and win the ball back. But when he does that, the left back just goes, I'm moving to the space he just left. And he goes out to left-hand side and sits on the byline in acres of space. So the defensive-minded midfielder from Copenhagen, I think his name's Dix, whatever his name is, tall, rangy guy with the socks around his ankles, he's alive to it. So he drops in to where the centre-backs are and says, give me the ball. And the ball goes into him. So George is taken out of the game. He's gone to go to the left side of centre-back, but he can't get there. And he's now out of position. The ball goes to the defensive midfielder and he goes there to left-back straight away. And the left-back has got acres of space because George has left his position. So while this is going on, one of the midfielders or one of the attacking players has moved into the left-hand side as well, giving Chalobah a 2-on-1 to deal with. So what I'm trying to say here is Achapong tucking in from the left-hand side into middle of midfield and Tariq George on the right-hand side tucking in to shut the centre-back down is giving Copenhagen an overload on both sides. And it has caused us untold problems. It caused us untold problems last week, and it's doing the same fucking thing today. And I cannot believe that someone that probably earns more in a month or 2 or 3 months that I earn in a fucking year can't see this, studies the games, watches what happened last week, and can't come up with something different to combat what they're doing, because it's the same. And we're playing exactly the same way, and it's the same way Copenhagen are playing, and we're falling into their trap time and time again. And this is why I'm telling you right now, we are not going to finish top 4. With this manager and his refusal to try and look at a second alternative tactic to try and force a result, is going to cost us big time. Absolute fucking big time. I cannot believe that I'm sitting here having this fucking conversation and I'm saying this shit again, an option to change tactically with Maresca. We haven't got that. So I'm sitting here right now and I work full-time for a living. I wish I could do YouTube full-time. That's what I want. I'd love to do that full-time for a living. I really would. I'll bash out the commentary, the coverage, the whole time. Videos non-stop. Be like the likes of Football Theory and George Benson and all that. I wish I could do that. But I work full-time for a living. I'm 50 years old now. I work full-time for a living. I've got a 3.5-year-old family, everything else. It's a little bit different for me than these youngsters. And I try and do what I can when I can. But the thing is, I work my arse off for my job to earn what these guys will earn in a fucking week. And the problem that I've got is I can see this and I go back to my day job and get stressed out or whatever we do. And I'm watching people getting paid fucking fortune that cannot do what you're asking them to do here. You've had 4 days to prepare, or 3.5 days to prepare your team to go and combat Copenhagen, knowing exactly what they're going to go and do, and you can't. When you see Tariq George coming off that wing and closing down the centre-back, he's literally 20, 25-yard run from his position to this left side of centre-back to shut him down. That's an instruction from the manager. That's not him just doing it. That's an instruction from the manager. When you see Achapong, left-back, cutting inside to a congested midfield to make another fucking body in the middle of midfield, that's the manager's instruction again. Stay in your positions. Achapong, stay left. Stay wide, stay left. Tariq George, hug the byline on the right-hand side and fucking stay there. Don't go anywhere near the centre-backs when you've got the ball at their feet. Don't give them the option to overload left-hand side with George's position and right-hand side with Achapong. Don't fucking do it. He's been doing it for 2 games. For 2 fucking games. 4 days he's had to prepare this, and it's the same as last week. It's the same as... We're going to get hammered by Arsenal. Arsenal hasn't got a centre forward, but they can still hammer us. No, let's just say this, right? Let's just put it on record. Copenhagen have been outstanding. In the 2 games against us, they've had a tactical shape. They know what they're doing. They're working hard together. There's no mucking about from them. And they all know what to do. They're all well drilled. They know what to go and when to go and press. And they're looking dangerous. 3 changes for Chelsea, or 2 changes at least. Cucurella's on and so is Cole Palmer. Please tell me George and Achapong. Listen, I'm all for youngsters coming on. Youngsters progressing, youngsters getting time. Of course, I want our academy to do well. And I feel sorry for Achapong. Now listen, it is not, what I'm saying is not on Achapong personally, and it's not on Tariq George personally, because all they're doing is they're acting out instruction from the manager. My moan, my gripe, my rant at half time is the manager. It's not the individual players. It's the manager. Anyway, players are back out for second half. God help us.